We are round 2.
Welcome
back. This is round 2 of episode 3 of Franganistan. Are we actually in episode 3?
We are in episode 3, the third age. And we were
that's like so crazy. I thought we would have given up by now.
Well, we were recording about 15 minutes of episode 3, and then we realized that Seb's mic was off. We had some
my bad
choice rips.
My bad.
The best jokes you will ever hear. You'll never hear them again.
Right. We were on a roll. We were just spitting back and forth. It was just Will and I. Man, I'm actually upset. Like, we actually had some good bits, and we were going off the cuff, and we were so comfortable. But then my microphone just had to be disconnected.
It's the curse because Dallas left the podcast to pursue the rap game.
Yeah, I guess we have to. God, we have to reintroduce that. Dallas is gone. We have to talk about that. Trump got the election stolen.
Trump did win the election, but everyone in California who has been dead actually voted for him.
It's true.
I know. I voted in all 50 states.
I legally cannot talk about how I voted. Not after the the incident.
Some guys visited your house, right, Seb?
Actually, like in all honesty, it's been very quiet. Only because I think that the federal government, the election committee, decided that I was like not a factor at all in swaying any part of the election.
They're like, this gay Colombian dude is not worth it.
This weird dude that is just not registered in Pennsylvania, does not work at any poll station in Pennsylvania, who says he works at a poll station. Like, he's just not a real person.
I'm gonna
so welcome to your weekly Franganistan. This is your free episode. We say free because none of you are paying us.
Right, the next few will be subscription based.
Right, we will be stopping after this episode only because Dallas has put us in $5,000 in debt on the credit line. Oh my! For people that are not in the call, meaning every single one of you, Will just took off his headphones and just did a cartwheel out of the camera, and I just want to say that his shorts are looking short and pink. Yeah. So, man, Will, that really like threw me for a loop. I didn't really. What did you just get? What did you just leave the microphone for?
If anyone at home is listening, I leapt over my recording studio, which is my bedroom, of course. It's very professional, to grab my laptop charger because I got the notification saying my laptop was going to die in 5 minutes, and I didn't want us to have to restart again.
Right, that would have been unfortunate. That would have been the third restart, which honestly would have been very appropriate, being that this is our third episode and we still can't figure out how to record a podcast. Where first try, I just kick my cable where it just disconnects from my microphone, restart. Second one, Will's laptop dies, restart, and then third one, we should get it, but. We're not going to try that.
Third time's a charm.
We're going to stay positive.
Well, if we had 3 hosts, it would work. But since we're down to 2, it's just not happening.
Right.
Anymore.
Oh my. Well, if you didn't do a freaking monkey backflip, maybe I would have been able to finish my thought about how Dallas put us in $5,000 in credit card debt.
We do have to restart or rename the podcast.
We do.
To the Fucking Men podcast.
Yeah, we're Kissing Boys podcast.
Dallas, the only straight
Dallas
guy.
is not here. Dallas is canonically the only straight man in this podcast.
I was telling Dallas about this guy I knew, but I want to tell you about him, Seb. He was awesome.
Oh yeah, let me hear it.
So I worked with him this summer, and he was very vocally against social media, which I am too, but I'm on all of them. But the only social media he had was Reddit.
Okay, that's fair.
Right?
You still get a lot of good content
right,
on Reddit.
But the only 2 subreddits he followed was the Joe Rogan Experience subreddit and the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia sub.
Okay.
He And I remember he was very upset the day that the Joe Rogan server or subreddit, whatever they're called, got banned off Reddit.
Oh, were they in? Did they get axed because they were like pushing like conservative theories or like super right wing?
I think maybe
something like that.
They also followed the
I remember,
Cumtown subreddit, but I know they got banned too.
Right, the Cumtown subreddit got banned because they were considered leftist, which is so funny to me because it's just a podcast named Cumtown.
Brush list. But the other
Bernie
stuff
Rose.
about him, he in the 2020 presidential race, he was supporting what's her name, Tulsi Gabbard.
Right, as we all
Right.
were. Mm-hmm.
God, dude.
She is the mommy of all the candidates, Democratic candidates.
That's right. He had a girlfriend, but he was very vocal about practicing semen retention.
Hold on. Can you elaborate?
Can I elaborate? Well, okay. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yes.
He was a volcel. Semen retention
Okay, cool,
is
respect.
let me pull up the definition for you. But I'm
Yeah,
guessing you can figure it out.
Right, that's the thing. It's like I don't want to figure it out, but like internally I'm doing like that Hangover scene where like all the numbers are like going through Zach Galifianakis' head, and he's basically counting cards at the table, but instead of counting cards, I'm just like connecting the dots of what semen retention means.
In Hinduism, it's called Tantra or Sahaja. It's a spiritual thing. He said that he believed that your essence was contained in your semen, and that every time you came, you were like making yourself impure.
Holy fuck.
Dude, I know.
Do you still are you still in contact?
Oh
with
yeah,
him?
dude. He texts me videos to Sam Hyde links all the time, and he's like, "Look at this."
Cool.
Dude rocks. He also lived in his truck.
Okay, that's with his girlfriend, or was his girlfriend?
Oh
like,
no, yeah.
also
Now
living
she
separately?
lives in his girlfriend, or she lives in his truck with him.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure semen retention is like one of the pillars of like the Proud Boys, and like,
Really?
yeah. So, maybe he just doesn't know. Actually, if he follows with Joe Rogan, he's got to know what the Proud Boys are.
Right.
But like, if he only follows like the Joe Rogan, then maybe he has a positive light of who they are. But I'm like 95% sure that one of the promises that you have to make as a Proud Boy is like you're not allowed to jerk off until like your like scout leader says you can.
Scout leader?
It's basically like, yeah, they're like Boy Scouts except they're like dudes.
Racist Boy Scouts?
They're just like racist Boy Scouts. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like you can't like jerk off, or maybe like there is a thing that you can jerk off, but like you're only like allowed to edge.
Well, I mean,
as a Proud Boy.
Let's get the optics on this. Monks don't jerk off, and they can float and stuff. So
that's true.
They must know something we don't, dude. All I'm saying is that
the thing with,
it doesn't seem like the Proud Boys are all that bad.
Right. So just through that singular lens of
just through the one,
retention.
the one viewpoint of the Proud Boys where they don't masturbate.
Right. It's like the amount of disappointment that someone might feel, joining the Proud Boys because, as a kid they've always wanted to be a monk.
Right.
And, maybe they live in like Montana. It's just the consequences of their environment. Like it wasn't their decision to like grow up in, Montana or whatever. Like it's not their fault. It's so they kind of have to play the game with the cards that were dealt with them, and the cards that are dealt with them are, they know that that semen definitely has some sort of mythical power,
magic powers. That's
has
right.
some sort of if you could allow some edge that they give you in society, primarily mentally.
Speaking of edging, Jeremy Corbyn is back in the fucking Labour Party.
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
right.
sir. The lad.
He got kicked out for not being anti-Semitic, and now he is back for not being anti-Semitic.
It's true.
I'm still so confused. Like, I don't follow British politics because I'm not a fucking dweeb. But what I can gather is that Jeremy Corbyn released a statement that was like, I think some people in the Labour Party are a little too interested in the nation of Israel. And then they kicked him out. They're like, that is a very racist thing to say, sir. And he's like, no, it's not. If you look at me, I am not racist. I'm not a racist guy. I don't hate Jewish people. I just don't like Israel. And then they were like, oh, you can come back.
Yeah, it was like a sort of self-reflection that the Labour Party had to put themselves through.
They got canceled.
Yeah, basically they threw Jeremy Corbyn under the bus for about a year and a half, basically saying like, everyone else in like UK politics was like, Jeremy Corbyn might be anti-Semitic because he wants Palestinians to have rights. And then the Labour Party was like, ruh-roh, that might be right. And so basically for a year and a half, like the UK media, big media, you know how we feel about that. They were basically like, yeah, Jeremy Corbyn may or may not be anti-Semitic. And then, sooner or later, everyone went to vote for the new prime minister, and 2 days later, Boris Johnson is now the prime minister of the UK, which is honestly good for them. They saw a candidate that wanted everyone to be able to ride trains for free, and a man that collected manholes as a hobby. Like, this dude has a garage just filled with different types of manholes across like the world.
Is that Boris Johnson?
And people were, no, this is Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn like said, like, as a kid, him and his mom used to go to like dumps or like old abandoned neighborhoods, and they would just like collect manholes because sometimes they'll have like fun designs, or maybe like they're just different just like different shapes and sizes. Awesome hobby,
dude,
in my opinion. Right.
It reminds me of this guy I've been subscribed to on YouTube for coming up on 4 years. It's Brian Roper's Plastic Chair World, and it's this autistic dude, and he collects plastic chairs and uploads videos of him standing like next to train tracks while a train passes, and he's like screaming his head off. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like that's basically like the same
type of
in
like
the same ballpark as Jeremy Corbyn.
Hyper focus.
Yeah, like the same. Yeah. And the voters just decided that they wanted this old fat white blob to be the leader of the, what would you call the UK? Because America is the free world. Is UK like
the T world?
The T world. The T
Yeah,
world.
man.
Okay. Tea, that could have two meanings. Tea as in, tea time. A lovely sleepy time tea. Or testosterone.
The testosterone world. The man's world. Well, because in
the
America they're feeding you, soy in your Burger King.
It's true.
They're feeding you fucking soy in your.
You got the estrogen Whoppers.
Oh.
Even McDonald's is now coming out. It's called the McPlant. It's the estrogen McPlant.
Dude, I'm so excited for that. Legitimately, the only fast food in my town is McDonald's, and
you've been starving.
I've been eating so healthy for months. I can't stand it.
Right. You need something to just ruin it. And Will, you're vegetarian.
I'm
right?
vegan. That's right, motherfuckers.
Vegan,
listeners at home. I'm vegan. I'm gonna rub it in your face.
Yeah. So now that Dallas is out of the picture, this podcast is officially 100% vegan, 100% pro kissing boys, and 100% pro Trump.
Now look, Dallas never said he was anti-kissing boys, but court remains out on that one.
Right, Do we even fucking explain why Dallas isn't here?
Well, Dallas, if our loyal listeners remember,
go ahead.
In episode 2 of Franganistan, Dallas Quinlan watched the movie 8 Mile, and it radicalized him. It didn't radicalize him the same way that, like, you know, the Manifesto radicalized people, or the way Ted Kaczynski was radicalized. It radicalized him, into being a white rapper. So he committed to leaving the podcast and pursuing a rap game. And as far as I know, there is an EP. It's going to be recorded and released within the next couple of days. But like Seb said, he did take out a line of credit to pay for studio time on the shared Franganistan credit card. And it's going horribly.
Yeah, it's tough. He's basically on radio silence from us from about 8 days ago. The only thing we've heard from him is just him texting us at 3 a.m, and it's basically along the lines of he's working hard on his
spitting conscious bars.
He's on his conscious
sensitive bars.
But it seems like he's destroyed his sleep schedule. He's lost his family. His family has completely disowned him. He has no friends that can like reach out to him. We're basically the last 2 people that that are here for him. And Dallas, if you're out there, if you're listening, whether from an astral projection,
a dimension beyond time,
just a dimension beyond ours of your conscious bars, or I don't know, somewhere more immediate, please answer our calls and join our Discord call. All right, I guess he's not. I guess he's not joining.
I hate to derail the podcast, but I found a pube on my keyboard.
Are you for real?
I'm for real, dude. I was fucking around, and I noticed it right there, and I was just like, "Huh, that's gross."
Is it yours?
Yeah, it was mine.
Do the carpets match the drapes?
The carpets do match the drapes.
Oh,
I'm gonna, yeah.
We are now entering into the hot and steamy hour of the podcast.
I know.
And
My
by hour, I mean maybe like 30 to 45 seconds. Until we move on.
Actually, that reminds me. Last week, I was listening to Franganistan.
As you should. You got to get those numbers
multiple reasons. Yeah, I was trying to boost those numbers. I was just trying to make sure that the audio was good. I like listening to my own voice, narcissistic tendencies, whatnot. And my girlfriend was in the other room, but I was like, I had my earbuds in. I was laughing to myself. Like, I was just doing some chuckles because we got good bits and stuff. And so she comes in and she's like, "Are you listening to your own podcast right now?" It's like, I was like, "Maybe." And she's like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "What, you don't?" And she's like, "No, I'm not going to listen to your podcast." And I was like, "Why not?" And she's like, "Well, I already have to hear your fucking jokes." So I put my hand right on her chin, just shoved her through the drywall.
Right, as you should.
And then later in the week, so true story.
Go ahead.
She was listening to a podcast, and the audio was playing out, and it was a dude's podcast. She was listening to another guy's podcast, man.
God, are you, fellas? This is a question for the fellas back home. If your girl be listening to other dudes rock podcast, because this is a dudes rock podcast.
That's right. We are explicitly pro.
We are explicitly pro. Does that give you justification to give your girlfriend the people's elbow, just like the way that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did?
I think yes.
I would also vote yes, and I'm getting a vision from Dallas where he's just nodding his head aggressively where he also agrees. So it seems to be that 3 for 3, that if your girlfriend says that, you know, they don't want to fucking listen to the Friend Afghanistan podcast, first off, one, say that's very disrespectful. Your friends, call us your friends.
Yeah.
You know, even if you know us in real life or not, because, you know, we spend an hour in your head a week.
Sometimes multiple hours if you're re-listening to episodes. You could spend a maximum
and even more if you...
Yeah, a maximum of 3 hours a day with us, the host of Friend Afghanistan.
Right, and soon we're going to try and fill it up to 24 hours, where we just say the same.
I was thinking to myself, if
weeks.
a lockdown happens, we could literally sit in a room and crank out like 4 Friend Afghanistan episodes in one day, and just oversaturate the market.
We could, pull the Brockhampton. That's how Brockhampton got big.
Really?
You remember? Like, back in, like, 2017, 2018?
No, I wasn't gay back then.
Yeah, they literally... Oh. Shit, you got me.
I was...
Fuck, yeah. I got owned.
Yeah,
they literally, like, named their 3 albums Saturation 1, 2, and 3, and they released them within, like, 10 months. And so, like, the people that first heard of them at, like, the first album got mad when the people who started listening to them at the second album, and then the people that started listening at the second album got mad at the people that started listening to the third. It was like this whole echo chamber of everyone being mad at who discovered them first. But in reality, they were just all gay and listening to just, like, mediocre music.
That's the best way to get big as an indie band, is just to make all your fans fucking pissed off you. Right, I was actually pissed because 2 of my favorite indie bands, this is so fucked,
Mac DeMarco and Arctic
Car
Monkeys.
Seat Headrest. No, but fucking 2 of the indie bands that I really liked got outed as, like, having abusers as members within, like, a year of each other. So it was like, once the first band, they were like, okay, we're gonna stop releasing music. We, like, fired that guy who was a shithead, and, like, we're gonna start making music with this new guy. And I was like, okay. They, like, apologized. They, like, got rid of the dude who was being a shithead, and, like, they can, like, we're turning the page, right? So I was like, I'm gonna cautiously continue to support them. Like, I'm gonna listen to their music, because it seemed like they were taking good steps. And then the other band that I was listening to, the way it got started was, like, on Twitter. This fucking girl, just not like that. This woman came out and was like, I have been abused by the member of this band, like the front man. And so then...
This is band number 2.
This is band number 2. And he's like, we were in a van, he was touching me. And then so he comes out and he's like, I'm going to make a video answering all the questions that are relating to, like, what I may or may not have done. And then, like, I guess the video, I watched it and I was like, all right, he's, like, made the explanation. The girl even came on and was like, yeah, I think I might have blown it all out of proportion. Like, we've had a conversation, like, we're good. But then, like, that band, they deleted all their posts on Instagram, and they're like, we're not a band anymore. And I was like, what?
No.
So, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it was really weird, because I felt like both of the bands were like, we're going to try and take some steps to, like, clear the air and change their behavior. But then one just handled it way worse than the other.
Yeah, so Friend Afghanistan, we do not condone sexual harassment of any sort,
or violence against women,
or violence against women. But we are standing here today and letting everyone know that we are actually anti Me Too. We are anti cancel culture, because like every other man in a powerful position, we are unaware of picking up social cues from our female coworkers, and we may or may not have sexually harassed them. Actually, I'm doing this project for one of my classes where we have to, like, do just like a brief history and like analysis of like Me Too and kind of like specifically like in the office space. And the way that the prompt that my professor gave to us, the way that it was written out, was definitely in the sense that he was self-conscious in the ways that he might have acted in front of his own female coworkers in previous years. So like it was basically like three sentences that were like, oh, so the Me Too movement has made it so that women find it harder to have mentors in the workplace. And then the question is like, okay, sure, fair. And then the first question that the professor gives us as a guideline is, how can managers alleviate the Me Too movement? It's just like, whoa, what do you mean alleviate it? Like it's a fucking bleeding wound that you can't stop, that is just gonna get every single male manager, every single male coworker that you have.
I actually don't have any female coworkers. They quit as soon as I started working there for some reason.
Right. Okay.
They must have been intimidated by me physically, dude, because I'm built.
Right. You're 6'8", 95 pounds. Yeah, bro. I'm just thinking about your shorts again, and just how cute they are.
Thank you. Speaking of,
can you just like get a stand up?
Yeah.
Real quick. Like I know this is an audio podcast. God, like they're what, 4.5 inches?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I have shorter ones.
You can keep those for next episode for the premium.
That's right, dude. Subscribe to our Patreon that we're going to be making. And I will upload femboy themed hot pink short pics for our.
You actually got those shorts before, like the whole femboy.
Yeah, dude, I've had those since
social movement.
I've had those since 2017, dude.
Right.
I was ahead of the curve.
Oh, so he was so before we started the podcast, I told Will that I had a bit that I've honestly been thinking about this bit since like the day after we stopped recording last episode, and it's just been burning inside me. I don't know how to make it into a whole conversation, but I've literally been thinking about how you and I have probably seen maybe over 200 unique dicks.
Men's,
just like in our lifespan. Yes. Just dick. Maybe literally 200.
I've thought about that.
And like
I'm trying to think like. So I've been doing at least 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to camps in 16. So that's like 3, and then we'll count.
So you got to factor out, right? So you got to factor out how many dudes you like recognized for the 17.
Mm-hmm. Who continued through. It's got to be in like the 300s because like you had auditionees, 400s. Right.
Now I'm thinking about maybe maybe you and I have reached 1,000
combined.
You know, combined, because definitely for sure like over 100.
Like
just like that's the nature of the game. And also, if you have no idea like what we're talking about, maybe you just like are a friend of the friend Afghanistan podcast. Mm-hmm. We are not explaining it.
I will not provide any context.
We will not provide any context on why Will and I have seen hundreds of unique dicks. And if you are one of those dicks that we have seen,
shout out to you.
Shout out to you. Give us a retweet. Give us a
review.
This episode's for you. You know.
Oh, Seb.
So
I'm getting a phone call.
Oh, you're getting a call.
It's from fucking. You're not gonna believe this.
Let me hear it.
Goddamn
Is
man,
it Obama?
The goddamn myth. Goddamn legend.
It's Obama?
It's Dallas Quinlan.
Dallas
Quinlan.
I'm gonna
answer it.
In the call.
Get him on here.
Come on through. Can you plug in your phone?
Hey guys.
Oh!
What's going on, boys?
Oh, Dallas.
He's back,
How you
dude.
been?
Oh, you know.
I haven't heard from you in weeks,
man.
It's
been a while. 1 week. So
it's so crazy how Will and I, we've been just talking for like 20 minutes. And
Yeah, am I interrupting anything right now?
No.
No, we're actually on an episode
actually,
of Afghanistan right now.
Right.
Oh, you guys are still doing the podcast.
You're a first guest.
Listen, well,
dude, happy to be here.
As long as this podcast keeps losing money, we will not stop recording.
Hell
That is
yeah,
our
man.
We have to
promise.
make up the losses.
The losses that could be anyone's fault. I think realistically,
Sure. It could be
You point
any
fingers
one
in
of
any
our
direction.
right.
Yeah.
It could be any one of us.
We're all kind of at fault in some way.
Mhm.
I did buy the Mongolian horsehead fiddle with the Afghanistan credit card.
Sure. I did buy 4,000 shares of Mongolian stock.
Yeah, I heard those are going
Stock
up,
in the
man.
country
Yeah,
of
good,
Mongolia.
like, crypto.
just the
My
entirety of
portfolio
Mongolia.
is just my
Actually,
portfolio
it
consists of different countries.
I did get a little spike after you texted me that you bought the fucking
The fiddle.
the fiddle. I got a little spike. I went, oh, maybe they're going to some business. And then you texted saying, hey, I just got this fiddle. I went, we're running this whole
I'm
system.
controlling the market. So Dallas, give us an update on your rap game. Are you next up out in New Hampshire?
Bars.
Shit, man. No, I think that I've kind of
No.
carved out my niche here. People are starting to around here know me as like the immortal technique of Southern New Hampshire, just because not many people around here have the same kind of conscious, like socially conscious bars that I do. So I think I've really carved out my own space, kind of in this, and I've been really enjoying my time here in the rap game. I can't really lie. I feel like the game's kind of changed since I got in it, and for those of you listening at home, I don't know. They're recording an episode right now. I don't know what they talked about before I got here.
It was straight guy stuff.
But as you may, of course, which is what I was hoping that the legacy I would leave on the podcast would be, is that it's just straight and people don't talk about boys kissing, because I'm really against that. But for a little bit of context, I had recorded an EP, actually, which, if you're listening to this episode, I don't know when this is going up, but it should already be out. It's on SoundCloud. In the last episode, when I was still host of the podcast, I had promised a 3-track EP. Unfortunately, I did run into some legal issues with that. Apparently, you can't just steal beats and then just use them freely. So I did do that with 3 tracks. Luckily, my saving grace, the reason that the single track EP can be what it is, one of the beats was actually produced by someone who died 200 years ago. And it is in the public domain. Everyone can use it. I would say we'll put a link down in the description, but I'm not really in. That's not
We
my
can take care of
business,
that
what's
for
in the
you,
description
Dal.
or not. If you wouldn't mind, I would do that. Maybe throw a link to my my SoundCloud page. That would be good. The EP is called Civil War by Dal, D-A-L. You can look that shit up.
So it's a
Yeah, no,
single
I've been
track
enjoying it.
EP.
Yeah, it's a single track EP. It's called Civil War. I don't know if you were listening when I was saying it.
So
Yeah, single track EP.
in this war, who are the sides? What's the civil part of it?
It was more metaphorical than anything else.
Okay.
It's like a war within my internal confederacy and myself. I think is what a lot of the tracks on it try to represent. The one track rather. It's kind of seeing in yourself, doing some introspection, seeing what the confederacy inside you is, the side of you that's it's for states' rights, and then you really know that maybe they're not really after states' rights. I feel like it might be a little bit of a dog whistle, but either way, I think it's a pretty good EP. I think it kind of speaks a lot for itself, so I'll just let you guys check it out and listen to it and hopefully enjoy it. But I got to be honest, guys, I've been feeling pretty melancholy about it.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, that when I started in the rap game, I feel like it. I was bright-eyed. Everything was new, and I was enjoying it a lot. Kind of seeing all the opportunities and the possibilities before me. But this late into it, it's not that those opportunities have dried up or anything. I don't want to kind of act like that's the case, but the game's changed.
I feel like what you might be going
It's
through right
changed in
now
ways
is
I'm not sure I can adapt to.
what you might be going through right now is sort of a. So when you started, it sounds like you were maybe like Kanye, circa 2004, circa like the college dropout, graduation. Like you're bright out, you have something to prove in the rap game. But nowadays, I think you're more like, maybe 2010, 2013 Kanye, like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or Yeezus, where you're kind of disenfranchised. You're out of the game. You don't see a future. You're just trying to put your crown on top of your work.
I think, 100%. I think if I had to, make another comparison, I feel like when I had started and set out on that journey after watching 8 Mile, I was kind of in a position of like, earlier Logic, like, the early mixtapes, like Young Sinatra, the first one. I feel like that's kind of where I was at mentally, and I'll be honest, right now I'm feeling more like Logic in his later projects, especially like his retirement album, No Pressure, just because a lot of it is from the perspective of him at the end of his career, because it was his retirement, at the end of his career, looking back and saying, this was a great experience, and I was very grateful to kind of get to do all the things that I did, but those things don't really bring him joy anymore.
Right.
And what he would much prefer is leaving that behind, kind of climbing the mountain and getting to the top, but leaving before he kind of gets tired of the view, so to speak. Leaving and retiring for him, what he considers a more fulfilling life with his family, his wife and his new child.
And he is mixed race, right?
He's mixed, and I am
You're
too.
also.
You are as well.
Comparisons
Could you give us a rundown on the 23andMe of Dallas Quinlan?
That's. If you guys still have or if you guys are going to do the Patreon still, we can put it on there.
Right. So I think
It's 23andMe.
If you want to know what kind of mixed race Dallas Quinlan is, please send us $5 in cash to our P.O. box.
$5 will do it.
$5 will
That's
definitely
a
do
good
it.
deal.
I'm pretty sure 23andMe is like $20.
Send us $20.
I might be wrong on
It's like
that.
$200, but that's fine.
Right, but like if four listeners send us $5, then we got it. Like that's plenty of money.
Dallas, while
send it
you're
to the
here,
P.O. box.
Dallas, while you're here,
Do you want to stay? You want to stick around?
We got some podcast reviews on Apple Podcasts. We got to sift through.
Wait, did we really?
We have
Can I make a
we have
quick
11
announcement
ratings,
first?
11 reviews on.
Can I have the stage for just a
For
just a
sure,
moment
for
here?
sure.
Just
Holy
to
hell.
kind of wrap up what I was thinking there. So kind of as we were talking about this kind of feeling of disenfranchisement,
Disillusion.
Words escaping me, but disillusionment. Thank you so much. This feeling of disillusionment, of kind of wanting to retire to a more fulfilling and better life. I think with all that said, I would like to announce that my debut EP, which is now out for streaming, is also going to be my retirement EP, single track EP. I've really enjoyed my time being able to do the things that I've done, but I'm ready to leave it all behind and start a new chapter in my life. What I would really like is to become another host of the Friend Afghanistan podcast again. If you guys would be so kind as to have me, I'd very much enjoy that.
Well, Dallas, I will say that the first 25 minutes of this podcast might have been the happiest I've ever been to ever host a podcast. And I know we've had our good bits in the past, a long history. Actually, can you rip that vape into the microphone a little louder so that people can confirm?
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead real quick. I'll pause. Oh, that was awful.
That's incredible.
But I think I can look towards the future and work with the new Dallas. So I'm gonna have to say, sure,
the reformed Dallas.
You're always welcome back You're always welcome back. I will have to ask you a question. Are you saying that your single song EP has the same arc as the entire Logic lifespan of his projects? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah. What I'm saying is that Civil War by Dal is under pressure and no pressure combined.
Got it. So it's, look out for this track, ladies, gents, and MBs.
It's dropping soon.
That's all I'm saying.
Look out for it because it's coming out.
It should already be out by the time this episode goes out.
Should it? I feel like you've been saying it should be out within the past 5 days, but then again, you've been radio silence.
I mean, listen, in universe, I've been gone quiet.
I'm trying to find fucking our reviews so we can read the reviews. Because we do actually have
reading reviews. Is
now that I'm a host again, let's get in these fucking reviews.
Listen,
ratings.
This is what you come in every week for us to read your reviews, because this isn't a pod with 3 narcissists. This is a pod with 3 readers with an audience of only narcissists.
3 friends, dude. And you are like our 4th friend, the listener.
You're like our
You're the
4th
friend.
Mike. It's like those girlfriend green text on 4chan where it's like, "Hey Anon, I missed you so much when you were at work, Anon," and then you just replace like Anon with your own name, and then you have to explain to your parents that yes, you have a girlfriend. No, she isn't in 3D.
She's not real,
but,
as they would say.
She's not real, but she's real to me. It's like that's how we are with you. It's like we're your friends, but we're only in your mind. So
we're in your mind, we're in your phone, and you get the free pass where instead of having to say, "Oh yeah, I heard these guys talking about this on a podcast," you can just say, "Oh, so my friend was saying." Like, we give you the pass to say that.
That's all yours.
You can bring up our bits and just say, "Oh yeah, I was talking to my friends and they said," like, you can.
Like, no one's gonna check. No one's gonna check.
No one's gonna check.
Your mom's not going to ask you questions. We're currently going into our 2nd lockdown. Unconfirmed, confirmed.
Well, Joe Biden won, which means that we're all going to lockdown in the sense that we're going to federal prison.
Right. Mm-hmm. Kamala Harris, mommy Kamala.
Yeah, because I own private property like my phone. So we're going to go to prison because of Joe Biden. That's going to be basically the lockdown that they're all talking about doing.
Toothbrush.
Yeah, it's just jailing people for owning things.
What if the lockdown wasn't like a physical lockdown, but it was like a lockdown of the mind? You know what I mean? It's like you're trapped with your own thoughts.
Oh, dude.
That's conscious.
Right. That's conscious.
I wish I had used that when I was a rapper. That would have been crazy.
Listen, as a part of the Friendganistan promise, it's all yours.
I would have put that as part of a bar about police brutality, I think.
Be like, police brutality is
a lockdown of the mind, and that's the end of the bar. It doesn't rhyme. It's the full bar. It's the end.
All right, dude.
You just gotta do the rapping technique where you just have a single line, but you scream it into the microphone, and you take 4 beats of rest, and then you scream a second line.
I'm familiar with that technique as someone who really did care about their. When I was in the game,
their technique.
I was pretty into right.
Technique. You experimented with a few options.
I experimented a lot. Yeah.
You did the Migos, the Migos flow.
I did do the Migos flow. I practiced that one.
You did the Lil Dicky flow where you always have to mention that you're Jewish.
Okay, I'm gonna say I might have done that one. I don't want to confirm nor deny.
Don't want to confirm nor deny that you just drop in your Jewish descent.
Like I said, 23andMe on the Patreon.
Send us $5 to our PO box that we will not be posting. You have to find our PO box. It's like
you have to
scavenger hunt,
treasure hunt. Yeah, it's a scavenger hunt to find out what race I am. Let's get into these reviews.
We're seeing some sick stuff. Here. I'll take the lead.
Go ahead. I saw someone felt sympathy for me having to read Harry Potter at the prime age of 22.
All right, here we go. A 5-star review. That's crazy. From BellaBear678 says it might be good. Probably the 2nd best podcast ever. I don't know. Haven't listened, but I'll get there someday. Look, Friendganistan is not about.
You're talking about JRE as the first one.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Friendganistan is not about listening to the podcast. Friendganistan is about being a fan of the podcast and giving us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
That's right.
So,
or
that's
even
right, yeah.
Or not even just being a fan, but just being a friend. The friend of the pod.
Yeah, dude.
were we reading?
Seb, you want to
Yeah, you
take
got
one of
one?
these?
Sure. This one is from Maddie Forearms. Life-changing, 5 stars. Great to hear. RBG came to me in my dreams and recommended this podcast.
Awesome,
Shout out
dude.
to RBG.
Rest in power.
The greatest dissenter. Rest in power. Oh, God. Ruth Conda forever. After listening to this podcast, I'm a whole new man, free of the husk of my former self. My third eye has been opened, and I now finally see the truth, the answer to the universe. 10 out of 10. Oh, so this isn't just a 5-star out of 5-star review,
No,
but Maddie Forearms actually gives us a 10 out of
Awesome,
10.
dude.
Thank you so
he's
much. Maddie
doubled
Forearms.
it.
We really
He's doubled the
appreciate it.
You can
review.
become.
Yeah.
I think RBG pretty successfully argued this
Yeah.
case.
You can
also.
become a whole new man
RBGs.
again. So listening to Frank Aniston is the first step. But what you need to start looking into is semen retention. You need to
That's right.
start
Right.
looking into it.
Did we talk about semen retention on this take?
Yeah,
Or was that the previous take?
I made
think
sure to
so.
include it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh wait, no, I don't know if you did or not because I wasn't here.
Oh yeah, Dallas, you weren't here.
Yeah, I wasn't here. I hope you talked about semen retention. Let's see. I'll take another review here.
Go ahead.
This one's from Cbog54. Wicked Sick Podcast. And it has 5 stars on it.
Wow.
Probably the second best. Why is this consistent feedback we're getting? Is that we're the second best podcast?
We kind
but then
of
not specifying what the
That was
first
our
one is.
that was
we
our
kinda
bit last
made
week,
it.
dude.
That was our
Oh,
hour
was
long
it?
We're the
bit.
second
Yes,
best
Dallas, you were
podcast
there.
on every genre.
Oh yeah. All right. Listen. Do you think I re-listen to these when I'm editing them?
Dude, I've already confirmed this episode. I re-listened to the podcast.
We have to
Okay,
get
and
those
was I here
numbers
for
up.
that in universe? No, I wasn't. So I don't remember you talking about that because I was out being a rapper. Anyway, second best podcast I've ever listened to. I appreciate the support of white rappers. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Giving a voice to the voiceless here. Sebastian had to read Harry Potter for class. What a trooper! That's big shouts to you reading Harry Potter. I mean, now you don't have to do it for a class. You're doing it for fun now.
Well,
So that's
no, I finished. I finished. All right, I'm done with Harry
It was
Potter.
for fun.
I'm moving
You had to read
on.
the first one and then you read the rest of them.
Well, listen, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like
You
the ball
chose
is
to read the rest of them.
the ball is already rolling. Like,
Yeah.
If you stop now,
if I stop now, then it's kind of
You're
like, honestly, I could have gone that route where it's like, yeah, I read like the first Harry Potter, but it was so bad that I was just disgusted to read the rest of this 7 whole series.
Yeah, it would have been totally reasonable.
That would have been totally reasonable.
It's perfectly reasonable to
Right.
do.
Or I could have been like, yeah, I read the first one, but then I was like, fuck J.K. Rowling. Fuck TERFs. But I took the third option, which in retrospect is it only gave me a net positive in bonding with my 13-year-old cousin because she
true.
also is a fan of the Harry Potter series.
Nice.
So
It's true.
so overall, it was a lot of emotionally damaging, physically damaging. I was ripping out my hair and pulling on my toenails to even just get through a chapter of a poorly written book. But in the end,
You read all 8 of them in like 3 weeks.
Well, there's actually 7. Not to correct you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not to
Here's
correct.
the thing. I knew that, and I fucking baited you into
no.
revealing how much knowledge
Ooh,
you
man.
have.
I have too much knowledge about Harry
You fell
Potter.
for it.
You
walked
want to
into
hear?
a bear trap.
You want to hear something fucked up, Dallas? Because you probably don't know this. Harry Potter has 3 kids canonically. Like this is like the epilogue of the 7th book. He names the first one after his own father. Okay, sure.
Normal.
Yes.
He names his youngest daughter after his own mother. Yeah, sure. He names the middle child a combination of his 2 mentors at Hogwarts. Dumbledore and Snape. So he named his second son
Dumb ape.
Dumb Ape Potter. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
We'll
I don't
leave
have
it
to
at
say
that.
the real name because
All
that's honestly way better than like what the real name
Next
is. Because
review.
the real name
Oh,
honestly
that
like
is-
hurt
this
me.
was
It
not
does
done.
hurt. Okay. Here's a 5-star
So
review.
what a trooper! No, we didn't finish.
Oh, fuck, we didn't finish that
Will,
one?
you're moving
Oh
on.
my
Dude.
god,
We
dude.
gotta
Holy
keep-
shit.
Will,
We gotta get
relax.
I
into
forgot,
it.
dude. I
We're
forgot.
gonna
Will, we
What a
have
trooper!
we have 45 minutes left in this
I
podcast. We're not in a
completely
rush.
missed it, dude.
Yeah. All right. So what a trooper! I love when the immortal technique of Southern New Hampshire. That's this
That's
guy.
Dallas.
Shout
right
out to
here.
you.
Fuck
Shout
yeah.
out to you.
Gives us conscious bars and provides us with a more cinematic experience courtesy of his audible vape rips. Thank you,
We
C-Blog
include those because
54.
it feels
Thank
like
you
you're
so
in
Friend of
room,
the
man.
pod.
Right. It's all about, friend Afghanistan. We don't have any political alignment except we're pro-Trump. And we don't have any, genre to base our entire podcast off, except dudes rocking.
Yeah.
So really, we're just kind of like a free-form podcast where we want you to feel like you're in the room, and you could be screaming and shaking like aggressively in your seat listening to us right now because you want to be a part of the bits. Because I have
That's how I
gotten
feel.
messages. I have gotten messages from a few friends being like, "Oh, I would have totally rocked on that
Get
bit
me on.
if you
I
had
would
me
have killed
on."
that fucking riff
Oh,
every day of the
I
week.
definitely had something. It was so good.
In the
I put-
chamber, bro.
Yeah, sure.
I could have done 10 more minutes on 8 Mile than you guys did.
It's like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you're totally fine. But we're in the same room as you, ignoring you for
Yeah, just
50
riff
to
with us.
60 minutes. Like, you can riff, you can pause, but we're not going to acknowledge you.
Like,
And I think that's the the nice thing
That's
about
the
Friend
goal. It's an
Galveston.
interactive
That's right.
experience, ideally.
Right.
So you riff on everything we say, just to yourself and like your coworkers. To yourself in a public
Yeah.
space where other people can see that you're just talking to yourself, and then they'll say, "Hey, well, what are you talking about?" "Oh, I'm on the phone."
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually on the phone
yeah,
with
I'm
my
on the
friends.
Bluetooth, man.
We're talking about 8 Mile right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on the phone with these guys.
you're just walking down the streets and you go, ugh, this city has too many homeless people that just talk to themselves, and then you continue walking down the street going, oh, ha 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 ha, yeah, that's so right, Dallas, oh, ha ha ha, oh, Will,
Yo, that's a great riff, man.
that's
wow.
so great, you,
Harry Potter.
Seb is so funny and hot.
Harry Potter.
yeah.
Ooh. Oh, nice one. Oh, I remember when we were talking about that, all four of us. Oh, that was great.
right, but the people in the streets talking to themselves, they're the outcasted one, so
Yeah, they're a scourge on
That's right.
society.
Mm-hmm. So you're better than them. Don't even
You are
think for a
a
second.
lot better, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, you're sexier. You shower,
that's right.
at least twice a
And
week.
you have a home. Got him. Yeah, owned those
Yeah, got him.
Oh my god.
people. Those homeless people. Yeah, you tell them, bro. Yeah, you fucking make those benches uncomfortable. Yeah, you let them know.
Oh, that's true.
Spikes on the fucking sidewalk, yeah.
Yeah. Hostile design. Yeah.
Put the fucking a middle handle on a bench.
Yeah.
For
on a
no
bench,
reason
yeah.
other to
I've always
not
thought, why
allow,
couldn't you just
homeless people to
slip
sleep on it.
under those? Like, kind of, like, just, like, squeeze in between and then put the bar over you.
It's true.
Well, Will, not all of us are hot and skinny like you are.
I have a better solution. How about get a home?
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
That's
got
right.
'em.
Solved it.
Owned. Yeah.
Why
Let
don't
'em know.
you invest your Donald dollars,
Start a business?
the $1,200 Donald dollars that we
Mhm.
got 10 months ago?
Was that really 10
Start an
months ago?
LLC. It was.
It was 8 months.
Was
it in April?
I think 8. No, it was in
I didn't
April.
even get
yeah.
it.
Was it in April? I didn't get mine
Yeah.
either.
Neither did I. Yeah.
Well,
But if you did, and you used it for like food or whatever, you should have started a
You should have
business.
reinvested it
Yeah,
into
if-
the community.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you spent your $1,200 I can't even like say Donald dollars. If you spent it all on your rent or your fucking electricity so that your kid can go to online school, shame on you.
Yeah, you should have started a business.
You make
fucking
me
idiot.
sick.
No
Invest it
free
in
handouts.
stocks.
You got a free handout and you fucking fumbled it.
Yeah. why didn't you, or you could have been like that guy from Florida that he started like 12 small businesses within a week, but he made like the office address his like own home, and he got like $1.5 million in like small business loans. Do you hear about that?
What the fuck?
Bull, you're giving me like the craziest eyes.
Because I'm fucking. What?
Yeah. So this dude in like Florida, he like started like 12 small businesses, and you know, like basically those like PPP bills that they sent out, like 95% of it was to small businesses or like large corporations.
Yeah, PP bills.
PP. Oh.
The PP bill.
Yeah, and this fucking dude from Florida started like 12 businesses, and he got like 1.5 mil. But then he got caught because he spent like half of it on like a Lamborghini, and then the IRS was like, "Hold on."
It's so funny. You can start a business from a PO box. You can incorporate in a state that you don't live in if you have a PO box in that state.
Right, and so it's like if you want to talk about fumbling pags, if you want to talk about fumbling handouts, it's definitely the dude that bought like a $500,000 car.
Dude, what a chump move, dude.
All right, here's our next review.
It's
from number one Silento fan, and it's 5 stars. It says, "Fantastic podcast, although that Sebastian guy should be in federal prison."
I agree. I agree.
Well, now that Joe Biden's president, you don't have to wish anymore.
Yeah, it's happening.
Now that we have Mommy
January
Kamala.
17th or whatever.
So anyone that's been asking me, actually, this is a story that I could tell you too. The U.S. Secret Service showed up at my work yesterday. I was not clocked in.
Awesome.
I just woke up. It was maybe like 9-10 in the morning, and my coworker texted me. Also, keep in mind that my coworker, the way that he texted me is, it's the way where he tells you the context, but he only tells like 85% of it.
Yeah.
So you know what? So just like put that in perspective. So he goes, "Yo, dude." I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "The Secret Service is here," and I went, "God damn it!" It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a rough
2.5 weeks. Yeah. Like I've been chilling. I haven't been thinking about doing any voter fraud, and like I knew if they were gonna like knock on my door or like find me, that it was gonna be like within weeks, because I honestly do believe that I'm the lowest priority.
For sure.
Of like voter fraud.
Your shit got debunked in like 45 minutes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's like Snopes, dude.
It's like awesome. But it's like, oh, maybe they'll get me because I was impersonating a federal employee, which I think that's just bullshit as well.
Right.
So he texted me, "Yeah, the U.S. Secret Service is here," and I like immediately like started like getting anxious. Yeah, because I was like, fuck. And he doesn't text me for 5 minutes. I'm like, I just woke up, like having my coffee. Like,
rocks, dude.
Not trying to do this.
It's a great morning.
And then he texted me like 5 minutes later. He went, "Oh, by the way, they're looking for a student named like Aaron." And I went, "You couldn't have told me that."
Aaron Sebastian Machado?
Aaron Sebastian Machado. I was like, you couldn't have told me that they were looking for a student with a name not mine in the same sentence that the U.S. Secret Service was there. Like, you had to wait 5 minutes
he was fucking
to let me know. I honestly think he was. I honestly think he was, because it's like it's so crazy. Be like, yeah, or like, oh yeah, the police are here for you. It's like, oh yeah, like the fucking police. But like, you don't just pull the Secret Service card out of nowhere.
Yeah, the Secret Service,
yeah.
like, they'll black site you, dude.
Yeah, like even if you just like talk about like, we're gonna get blacklisted. We're gonna, like, all three of us, we're gonna be put on a list because we're talking unfavorably of the Secret Service.
They're gonna send the Men in Black, and they're gonna hit us with like the memory wipe thing, and then I'm gonna forget that we have a podcast, and the podcast.
Or that you were even a rapper,
right? So
right, yeah. Never forgetting that. I have a tattoo.
Yeah, so the Secret Service came to my work, weren't even there looking for me, and I just had like just a 10-minute just like anxiety, just like through the roof. Because like the worst part of it is like I would have to explain to my mom, like, through this whole situation. I'm like, yeah, so Remember that it did voter fraud like 2 weeks ago? Well, the U.S. Secret Service is here now. Don't worry, Mom. It's gonna be fine. Like, don't worry. But no, it's been quiet.
That's good.
No one.
Don't worry,
no one wants to.
the Men in Black took a break from fighting aliens to come yell at me about voter fraud.
They're yelling at me about lying on the internet. Yeah, that's like the biggest punishment that I can get is just like an old man that like has no idea how like jokes that
How jokes work.
aren't. Yeah, how jokes work, and it's like, that's not funny. I'm like, to you, it's not funny. But to so many people,
Hilarious. To the listeners of the podcast.
yeah, I feel like to the fourth mic, which is you, the listener.
It's you.
You think it's funny. This could be.
They just did a. Dude, did you hear that? Hold on. The fourth mic just did a banger riff on that.
Oh well,
that was awesome.
Let's all give him a laugh
That was
around
sick
the
riff,
table. Ha ha ha!
Oh, good one.
Whoa,
Dude, that was an awesome riff.
man,
that was so
you're
cool.
so sexy.
It's a good riff.
Fourth mic.
Your dick or pussy is huge, respectively.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah, man, your ass is so tight. Ugh.
Where do you work out?
We
The
have another
library?
Good one. Good
Yeah, work
one.
at the library gym combination.
You guys want to?
let's see here.
We got one more.
No, we have
It's
one
from
more.
Joma.
Last but not least, I'll
Okay,
take
perfect,
this
perfect.
review. I'm gonna take ownership of this one.
Go ahead, sir.
It's short, it's sweet. I think it says everything it needs to say.
Mm-hmm.
Which you know that who's that one bitch writer who had the 6-word story? Is that Robert Frost?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that like Honey and Sugar poem book that like went viral, and then everyone got mad at it because it was like, honey, sweet, my pussy is so delicious, and then it's just like 150 retweets, 1 million likes.
Oh no, I remember that.
You remember
I
that?
I'm thinking more about I'm thinking more about
A guy from the old times.
Emmett Hessingwary.
E.E.
Yeah.
Cummings.
Yeah, that guy, the 6-word
Classic,
story dude.
Classic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this kind of blows that bitch ass 6-word story out of the water.
Let it rip.
This is from Joe Matillo. It's a 5-star review, Poggers, and the review body says it's simply Poggers, which I think is kind of the feedback that we're going
Thank
for.
you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Unbeatable.
So we accomplished a lot today. I'm back on the podcast. I'm
Yeah,
back.
welcome
wait,
back,
the host
Dallas.
here.
Isn't it true that we have more positive reviews than who was that?
Dude, man, we need to pay respects for a second to one of the greats, Adcast, with Mike Bigby and Ben Cohen, two legends in the game. We have, I think, more reviews than they do now. So go give them a couple of good reviews.
Also, give us reviews.
Give us 5-star reviews.
Yeah,
We'll
actually
read
give us
it
reviews.
on the pod.
You don't have to listen. Yeah, we'll read it on the pod. You don't have to listen to the episode. If you just leave a review, that's more valuable to us than you actually enjoying and like having an enjoyable experience listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the numbers are more important to us than making a good product or people enjoying said
Right.
product
It's
in any way.
it's not about the quality. It's about the quantity.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah, it's about the quantity. We're
If
just
we-
trying to race to sell out.
Right. If we cared about the quality, we would have stopped at the first episode because we will never
It's
top.
true, yeah.
We will never top
Not gonna peak yet.
me having a panic attack halfway through an episode.
Yeah, we peaked pretty hard,
Mm-hmm.
but
We're still on top, man.
all right, it's about all I had for this week. I don't know if you guys had any more action.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm ready to. I don't know.
Good shit. I'm gonna go play Fortnite. So that has been all, folks. Again, review the shit, and we'll see you next week.